Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. All right, today's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about writing solos, and I don't want to sugarcoat this for you. It's probably not for absolute beginners. Although we are going to start very slow, very basic, the difficulty level is going to escalate pretty quickly, so you already need to know some stuff about chords and scales and intervals and probably have several songs that you can play comfortably well. But as always, the goal is not this song. The solo that we're doing today is not special at all. In fact, it's not even made up yet. We're going to make it up together. But the goal is that you would take the principles that we use today, take the ones that you like, leave the rest, and hopefully leave just a little bit better than you are right now. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? For the first time, not the first time. The first time in a long time, I am putting out a collab song, which I'm very excited
Oh, cool.
about.
With who?
Her name is EJ. I think her last name is pronounced Moore, but I haven't asked her.
Okay.
We don't know each other in person, but she's very sweet. And we've been messaging, and we're finally going to put out a book-inspired song on Valentine's Day. And I'm really excited.
Oh, cool. That you wrote together?
That we wrote together,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do the magic of the interwebs.
The magic
on
of the interwebs.
YouTube? Instagram?
On YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. What's the name of the song?
Into the Fire.
So look for Into the Fire coming
thank
soon
you.
on Valentine's Day of 20, whatever year this is. I don't know.
I'm just very excited. That's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, today we are doing your favorite song, and we're going to try to write a solo over it. So the goal is, let me first just run through these here. So here are my suggestions for you before you go writing a solo is to do the things on this checklist that you're about to see on your screen right about now. So the things you want to do to prepare for writing a solo. Usually if you do these things, if you actually get to the bottom of this list, everyone wants to shortcut this list and just like go to the solo writing. If you do the stuff on this list, you will usually end up accidentally with a killer solo by the end of this list. But first thing you want to do is just listen to at least 3 different recordings of the song so you can start to take in the interpretation of different people who are covering the song. So thanks to YouTube, that's really easy these days. That first one used to be a hurdle, just trying to find different recordings of the song. Then you want to memorize and play the words, and preferably play the notes, and preferably sing the words as well. So we've already done both of those things, I think, in our last 2 lessons here. So we should at this point be able to play through the song. If you can't play through the song yet, I mean, you can write a solo over it, but a lot of your solos should be taken from the spirit of the song, in my opinion, which is why you're here, to get my opinion. If you don't care, whatever, go somewhere else. This is what we're doing here. So it should have the spirit of the original song in it. So you want to start off with that being very immersed in the song itself and the spirit of the song. The lyrics of the song should also hopefully tell you a little bit about where you're going to go with your solo. And then you want to, this is actually the first step in actually playing the solo, is playing the melody but just kind of paraphrasing it. And so I'm going to go down to this thing that this is just stolen from our earlier lessons. These are the chords right here: E flat minor, B, G flat, and D flat. And if I just ran through those and you're like, wait a second, how do you do that? You want to go back to the tutorial lesson and watch that one, because the beginner version of soloing is going to kind of pick up where that left off. So the E flat minor, the B, the G flat, and the D flat. So that's where we're starting with this thing. And then I'm just going to play you the melody that we picked out before. But instead of playing the melody straight through like we did in the tutorial, I'm going to kind of mess with it a little bit. So I'm not going to play all the notes, and I'm going to add in a couple notes, whatever notes are nearby. So for example, if we could, can you throw up the key of G flat for me so you can see these numbers here? So we played 1 1 6 1 6 1 2 3 1 1 5 3. So then we have some options here. 1 6 1 1 6 1 6 1 2 3. And then maybe instead of going straight to the 1, I would like pass through the 2 right here. There's no word for that 2, but I am going from a 3 down to a 1. So I might as well pass through the 2 there. So that's kind of the idea that I'll be using, is like if I'm making big jumps, maybe connecting those with some notes, or maybe just not even playing so many of them. Maybe I do the opposite and I take this 2 out and just jump straight from the 1 to the 3. So this is just approximating the melody, and I'm not anymore thinking about the words, the lyrics necessarily, because I've already done steps 1 and 2 and I've thought a lot about the words. So just an approximation of the melody would sound something like this. This is not the right way to do it. This is just a way to do it. With your track, it sounds something like this. See, I'm not really in the melody anymore. I'm not really in the melody anymore. I'm just kind of taking some of the themes out. 5 4 3, that thing right there, and just kind of using that as a little motif. So this mostly, I don't think this takes a lot of creativity. I think it mostly takes bravery, especially from you adult students who like want to do everything the right way. in general and want to like get this thing right, like make the right solo, and there's just no such thing. So in order for this to be artistic, you're gonna have to just be brave and get out there and mess up a whole lot, and play a lot of wrong notes, and then a couple right notes. So you're like, whoa, I played a right note, and then go figure out what you did and like use that little nugget that you mined out of all of these wrong notes. But of course, the more you use the tutorial lessons and like guess inside of the key and stuff like that, we talked last time about using the key of G flat and try to utilize all the tools that you have to like not screw up terribly, but then the bravery of like just getting out there and like playing the melody. And that approximation is not like any approximation I would do again. That was just that one time through. Let's go one more time, and this time I will try to approximate even more generally. So throwing in more notes than that last one, which I think was mostly taking notes out. This would be throwing in more notes, something like this. Okay. So that's all the exact same notes, just cramming more of them in. And so probably like a solo that I would actually play in real life would be somewhere in like the mix of those, where we play some stuff that we take notes out and play other parts where we put them in. Later on, we'll do more of that, the actual solos that I would actually play. But first, I want to just throw in these couple more things before we take our first break. Identifying and playing and arpeggiating the chords. So there's only 4 chords in this song. That makes that really convenient. In a lot of the songs we do, we have a lot more to deal with. But just playing these ones right here, E flat minor, B, G flat, and D flat. And first we want to just take those chords apart and play them one note at a time, like I just did. B, G flat, and D flat, and we'd want to do that along with the song in time, and then eventually we would want to be able to, so I kind of brushed over that. That would take some practice right there. After you get done with that, the next tool would be to duplicate those chords in multiple octaves. So that's an E flat minor, that's also an E flat minor. So E flat minor contains all of those. So that's E flat, and then B, that would be a B chord, and B chord would also be that and that. So we can play these chords in multiple octaves. And then G flat, we can play G flat in multiple octaves, and then the D flat. Yeah, so we've already covered a whole lot, like any one of these right here, especially for a beginner pianist, would be like plenty to work on for a week or more. So there's lots of material here, but just playing the arpeggiated chords, and then playing the notes in the scale and the keys. Let's just stick with these first 4 for right now. What I'm about to play for you is the song plus approximating and paraphrasing the melody, plus playing and arpeggiating the chords, playing them one note at a time. Just that. There's no other art going into this thing here that I'm about to play. It's just those 4 concepts. Nope, 3 concepts. The melody, approximating the melody, and then arpeggiating the chords, which sounds something like this. So I'm just playing the chords. This is a B chord. That's a D flat chord. And then E minor. That's the melody. And now here's the G flat chord. There's the D flat chord. That's the B chord, G flat, and then the D flat, E flat minor, B, G flat, D flat. Now I'm back to the melody. Now I'm approximating the melody. And I'm about to go back to the chords. That's a G flat chord, and a D flat chord, and then E flat minor, G flat, E flat minor, B, G flat, D flat. Okay, so that's just those concepts right there. Not really like making up a solo or being artistic or anything like that. Just taking those concepts. I guess the approximating the melody takes a little bit of art, but like I said, mostly it takes bravery. So we need to cover the rest of those three and also get into the intermediate and the advanced version of the lesson. But first, Kendra, tell us about our first break.
Our first break?
Yes, you're right. I don't usually say it that way. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about voicing, and if you would zoom out for me, this is the voicing that I gave you last time for minor chords, where we take, like, for example...
Oh, you wanted me to pop in
yeah,
and be
well,
like,
that
this
was...
is got it.
Whatever.
This is the feature of the day.
Thanks. What feature of the day is it, Kendra?
It's the voicing of the day.
We'll get the hang of this. We've only done 700 of these lessons.
Right.
That's an overstatement. We don't have that much practice. We've only done 670 of them. All right. So anyway, the last time I gave you this thing, and we called this stacked fifths. So this is an example of an A minor chord, where on the A minor we just play a fifth on top of that, and then we go up a half step, and we stack another set of fifths on top of that. So it's fifths here, a fifth there, and a fifth there. And then on the bottom, it's a fifth there and a fifth there. So that's the last thing that we did. Today we're going to stack fourths instead. So on that same chord, on an A minor chord, instead of stacking fifths, we're going to stack fourths. So we'd go from here, up a fourth, then up a fourth, and then after that we're going to go up a third, a major third. This right here would be another way that you could voice an A minor chord. And this is also a thing in jazz called the so what voicing. And there's different, like you use these on dominant chords and major chords and stuff too, by putting the lowest note on different parts of the chord. But for right now, this is the thing that you want to hang on to, which is stacked fourths. It's 1, 2, 3 fourths plus a third stacked on top of that to give us an important chord tone there. So there's our A. And that kind of has like this open, like this hollow cluster feel to me. That probably doesn't, those are opposite words. But it feels like there's a lot crammed in there, but it all has this like really open sound. And then this other one here has this like darker, haunting, for me it feels like a blanket on top. So like it's, as opposed to so it's really flat and open there, and maybe that's just because of how I play it. Maybe I'm hearing based on what my fingers do, because it is kind of a blanket. It's just like it's all right there, but also has this like this really like inescapable feeling. And then this other thing right here, to me, feels like it's about to explode. Like there's a lot of energy packed into a little space. Anyway, those are the two ideas. Stacked fifths, we've already talked about before, and then today, stacked fourths with a third on top. I know that's cheating, it's not really stacked fourths, but that's the concept for today. Stacked fourths, it's also called the so what voicing, and hit me up either privately or coming up in the Musipedia soon is going to be hopefully a course on so what voicings and how to use them over different chords. But we need to get back to this thing. Maybe we could use that voicing on this. That's our first chord right there. That's our E flat minor with stacked fourths, E flat minor or E flat on the bottom, and then fourth, fourth, fourth with a major third on top. All right, now we'll really get back to the song after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out, and if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.